Backlog problems? Too bad, because October decided to drop a truckload of RPGs all at once. Some are massive returns, others are underdog surprises, and a few are straight-up curveballs nobody saw coming. This isn't a maybe I'll play later kind of list. These are the RPGs that demand attention right now. Kicking off our list on October 1st, we've got Kaiju number 8 crashing onto PC, after already tearing through iOS and Android with over 1 million downloads. And this isn't some generic tie-in. It's a full turn-based RPG built around the chaos of giant monster battles. You assemble a 4-person squad, pick skills, set up follow-ups, and hammer away until you expose the Kaiju's glowing core. That's when you unleash the cinematic ultimates, the kind of finishers designed to make your screen feel like it's vibrating. The game splits its content into 3 big pillars. The main story throws you into an original narrative with new faces fighting alongside the defense force. Memories is basically a replay button on the manga and anime arcs, giving you a chance to relive the big beats with playable battles. And then there are character stories, which are side paths that dig into the personal drama of Mina, Kikoru, Hoshina, and the rest of the crew. Kafka's transformation into Kaiju number 8 is here too, with all the destructive flair you'd expect. The PC version is launching free-to-play on Steam with gacha mechanics. Yeah, loot boxes are in the mix. But for anyone worried about monetization, community guides have already broken down pity systems and pull rates, so you'll know exactly how hard the grind hits before diving in.
A real honest-to-goodness.
On October 3rd, we've got Digimon Story Time Stranger, the newest entry from Digimon, and it's shaping up to be the biggest in the sub-series. The story kicks off in Shinjuku, where the protagonist, an Adamas agent, suddenly wakes up 8 years in the past. From there, the adventure jumps between modern Tokyo and the digital world of Iliad, home of the Olympos 12, who finally get a spotlight in the narrative. Combat has been overhauled with depth and speed in mind. Battles use 7 attributes and 11 elements that layer into a web of multipliers, and new mechanics keep things fresh. Personalities shape how your Digimon grow and act in fights. Agent skills let you build your own buff tree that even affects evolution. And cross arts give you powerful support moves mid-battle. On top of that, enemy encounters are now visible on the field. You can crank battles up to 5 times speed, swap party members without burning turns, and even lean on auto-battle when you just want to grind fast. And the scale is massive. Over 450 Digimon, DNA Digivolution, D-Digivolve, and full skill and equipment customization. Outside combat, there's even the Digifarm to train and bond, plus Digiride, letting you mount Digimon to explore dungeons and fields in style. Also on October 3rd, we've got Borderlands 4 landing on the Switch 2. And this one isn't just a lazy port, it's a full Unreal Engine 5 beast squeezed onto Nintendo's new hardware. The catch? It runs mostly at 30 FPS, and yes, split screen got axed. Still, it launches midnight local time, packs full crossplay, and comes with that little Switch 2 warning label that you'll need a decent SD card because the cartridge won't hold the whole thing. The game itself drops you on Kairos, a brutal prison world ruled by the Timekeeper, a villain who makes Handsome Jack look like a stand-up comedian. Borderlands 4 takes a darker tone, dialing back the non-stop jokes, in favor of something closer to dystopian sci-fi rebellion, though Claptrap still can't resist inserting himself into the revolution. You pick from 4 new Vault Hunters: Vex the Siren, Rafa the Exo-Soldier, Eamon the Forge Knight, and Harlow the Gravatar. Each has 3 distinct action skills and branching builds that change how they play. Mobility has also been cranked up with grappling hooks, double jumps, dashes, and even glide packs, which makes combat way more vertical and chaotic. Gearbox is bragging about 30 billion possible guns, thanks to a new licensed parts system that lets weapons mix traits across manufacturers. And once you hit endgame, expect rotating missions, boss challenges, events, and new Vault Hunters down the line if you grab the higher editions.
Under attack!
On October 7th, we've got Battlesuit Aces, a tactical RPG that looks like someone mashed up a mecha anime, a deck builder, and a visual novel, and then sprinkled in 50 different pilots just to see if your brain could handle it. You're not just pushing cards around. Every match is a 5 versus 5 battle where pilots and suits become cards, and how you position them on the battle line can be the difference between a clean win and a face-first explosion. The twist? It's not only about raw power, synergy between pilots, mods, drones, and even your ship's layout matters. The campaign brings over 50 missions with branching routes depending on which of the 5 factions you decide to side with. There are more than 30 unique battle suits to unlock and upgrade, and 30-plus ace pilots to recruit, each fully voiced. Between missions, you're hanging out on the USS Zephyr, training in sims, crafting upgrades, and inevitably wondering if you picked the wrong pilot to trust because, yes, choices actually matter here. It's releasing on PlayStation 5, Switch, and PC with full English voice acting, multiple language support, and even touch controls on Switch for the handheld tacticians out there.
Man.
Next, on October 8th, PlayStation owners get first dibs on Brave X Junction, followed by Switch and PC on October 9th. And this one is not your usual turn-based grind. Imagine a JRPG where every battle is basically blackjack. Yep, instead of spamming attack commands, you're drawing cards, trying to hit 21, and whoever gets closer lands the strike. Enemies don't just sit there either. Ghosts literally hide their hands. Trolls can bust over 21 and still smash you, and then you've got the usual suspects like slimes, orcs, and even dragons waiting to ruin your run. You're not locked into one playstyle either. The fighter hits hard, the thief bends the rules to dodge danger, and the magician pulls tricks that flip duels in weird ways. Progression's tied to boost cards and gear that carry special skills, plus a forge system where you can craft and synthesize weapons. The devs, Reed in Japan, the same team behind Mercenary Saga, are leaning into short, sharp dungeon runs, a budget-friendly price tag, and just enough anime chaos to keep it from being predictable. And yes, it's fully in English right out of the gate. On October 9th, we've got Lost Eidolon's Veil of the Witch, and this one flips the script on the original strategy RPG. Instead of long campaigns and drawn-out prep, you're dropped into short, brutal runs across a cursed island. It's part tactics, part roguelite, and every time you die, you don't just restart. You unlock permanent upgrades, new relics, and buffs that stack for the next attempt. The combat sticks to grid-based tactics, but with a faster pace, smaller maps, tighter battles, and no endless waiting on animations. You bring a squad of 5 into each mission, chosen from a roster of 9 characters, and experiment with over 200 skills and dozens of relics that can completely change how a run feels. Elemental combos are also a big deal. You can set the field ablaze, drench it, or electrify it. The story runs across 3 acts, with your custom protagonist piecing together lost memories after striking a dangerous deal with a witch. And once you finish the acts, the Raven's Tower unlocks, which is basically an endless gauntlet of modifiers and escalating difficulty for the truly masochistic. Playable on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PC, and even Switch, this spin-off isn't about taking 100 hours to clear. It's about mastering fast tactical puzzles, dying a lot, and somehow loving every second of it.
Coming back to life in the middle of battle?
Also on October 9th, we've got the comeback of Blue Protocol, now reborn as Star Resonance. Forget the messy launch history and shutdowns in Japan. This is the global revival, dropping straight on PC and mobile as a free-to-play MMO with heavy anime vibes. Console versions? Not on the table yet, so don't hold your breath. The big shift here is the move to a seamless open world instead of instanced zones, plus crossplay and cross-save across PC and mobile. Combat is full action, with dodges, free aiming, flashy combos, and the class lineup is already stacked. At launch, you'll see around 8 distinct classes, from the tanky Shield Knight to Ice Mages, and even a support musician class for the players who prefer to rock out while everyone else is fighting. Gameplay flow leans on quests, crafting, 5-player dungeons, and large-scale raids at endgame. Layer on top fishing, trading, guilds, and seasonal events, and you've got the usual MMO ecosystem, but streamlined for both PC and phone play. Of course, it's Tencent, so yes, it comes with gacha systems. The devs swear it's not pay to win, but let's be real. Players will be dissecting every banner on day one. Regions covered include Europe and the Americas, with English fully supported at launch. And if you're on PC, the specs aren't brutal. And to wrap up October 9th, we've got Rise Eterna 2, the sequel to that Fire Emblem-inspired tactics RPG from a few years back. This time, you step into the boots of Jocht, a soldier tangled up in a Thracia's messy power struggle. 2 noble houses fight for the throne, a third faction sharpens its blades for revenge, and somewhere in the chaos lurks a destroyer you'll eventually have to face. No pressure, right? The campaign comes with 24 missions spread across different biomes, each map built to make terrain actually matter. Elevation, forests, and choke points aren't just decoration. They decide whether your squad makes a clean sweep or gets turned into target practice. The combat now mixes tactical grid battles with a wider strategic layer, so positioning and long-term planning both matter. Your squad is more customizable too. Every character has skill trees tied to their backstory, and you can socket over 20 gem types to tweak weapons or buff heroes. And unlike the first game, which stuck to straightforward skill unlocks, this one leans much harder into flexible builds and synergy. If you're curious, the Steam demo already lets you test 3 missions, including the tutorial. Perfect for seeing how the pacing feels before launch. And yes, it's coming to PC, Switch, PS4 and 5, and Xbox One and Series, with modern comforts like cloud saves, achievements, and smart delivery baked in.
Follows a girl who adores Bushido.
Next, on October 10th, we've got Disgaea 7 Complete marching onto the Switch 2. And this isn't just a lazy port, it's the full package, with base game, every DLC drop, plus brand new content that wasn't even in the Japanese Complete Edition. The story throws us into Hinomoto, a parody of feudal Japan ruled by a corrupt shogunate. You'll step into the shoes of Fuji, a samurai demon with a deadly allergy to kindness, and Pirulika, a rich otaku obsessed with Bushido as they try to topple the Oedo regime. Classic Disgaea chaos, but dialed up. But what makes this version stand out? For starters, the bonus episode that lets you revisit legendary netherworlds from past games. Beat it, and you unlock Asagi, the eternal wannabe protagonist finally gets her moment. Then there's the endgame candy. Stats with no ceiling, infernal weapons free to equip, and the ultimate challenge fight against Rakshasa Ball. All the signature Disgaea 7 mechanics are intact. Jumbification to stomp enemies kaiju style, hell mode for explosive power bursts, and item reincarnation, where you can literally rebirth a sword into a staff that still remembers its old tricks. Add the Switch 2's smoother performance and quicker loading, and you're looking at the most convenient way to drown in endless min-maxing. Oh, and yes, physical editions are out too, including a $100 collector's box with a cat plush and a Netherworld fan because why not? So we've got almost a full week of breathing room before October 16th, when Pokemon Legends ZA finally drops. And this time, the entire adventure is set in the heart of Lumio City, now under a massive re-urbanization project meant to bring humans and Pokemon closer together. Prism Tower still dominates the skyline, but the real twist comes with the new Wild Zones, which are artificial ecosystems where you can roam, sneak, and throw Pokeballs to catch Pokemon directly. When night falls, the city changes gears with battle zones, holographic arenas that lock down streets for high-stakes fights. That's where the ZA Royale kicks in, a new progression system where you start at rank Z and climb your way to rank A, earning ticket points and even the chance to make a wish that shapes the story. The biggest shakeup, though? Forget the turn-based rhythm you're used to. This is real-time battling, where every move has its own range, area, and execution speed. And yes, Mega Evolution is back, with new forms like Mega Dragonite and Mega Victory Bell joining the mix. The starter trio is surprisingly nostalgic, with Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile, while Zygarde takes the spotlight with its 10%, 50%, and complete forms driving much of the plot. One more thing. If you're on Switch 2, expect smoother visuals and higher performance, while the original Switch version gets an upgrade pack to stay in the race.
But it's blocked by the steadfast shield of protect. Gyarados quickly counters with waterfall. It's super, no time to relax. Ampharos Mega evolves.
Now, on October 21st, we've got Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, dropping on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. And this one isn't playing it safe, as you don't start as some rookie vampire crawling through the ranks. You're Fire, an elder who wakes up after a century of sleep. And the city of Seattle is a blood-soaked chessboard waiting for you to make your move. The prince is gone, the power vacuum is real, and every faction wants a piece of the throne. 6 clans are in from the start, each bringing their own brutal or stylish way to twist the night in your favor. The choices shapes your powers, your passives, and even how you survive when hunger kicks in. Seattle itself is split into dense hubs instead of a giant sandbox. Think layered urban spaces with vertical traversal, like rooftops for the Predator and sidewalks for the Mask. Break the Masquerade too loudly and things escalate quick. First the cops, then specialized hunter squads like the IAO, packing thermal goggles and riot tactics designed to ruin your night.
How you keep your job. Just unlock the door for you.
What are you hiding?
Why the hell would it matter what you remember, Sabian?
Then, on October 22nd, we've got Away From Home, a wild indie RPG that doesn't play by the usual rules. Picture Earthbound's quirky overworld, mash it with the tension of Undertale's meta storytelling, then throw in battles that feel like rhythm heaven on hard mode. Every fight is basically a rhythm test. Nail the timing, rack up action points, and unleash big moves. Miss the beat? Then the enemies will smack you down harder than your controller after a rage quit. The game lets you roll with just 3 items per battle, so strategy matters as much as reflex. You might grab a side quest reward that slows the whole fight for 30 seconds, or risk going straight for bosses early if you trust your rhythm skills. And yes, you actually can brute force a boss way too soon if your timing's sharp enough. Exploration keeps things open, with main quests in each area and a ridiculous number of side quests, some inspired by Yakuza's brand of absurd yet heartfelt distractions. Choices matter too, as routes split, endings change, and the world literally exists only while you're playing. Add in expressive pixel art, full localization in 11 languages, which is insane for an indie, and you've got something that stands out. If you're curious, there's already a free prequel called Home, plus a chunky demo on Steam, so you don't even have to wait to get a taste of this bizarre, timing-based chaos.
They took down that shadow during the last full moon like it was...
Next, on October 23rd, Persona 3 Reload finally lands on the Switch 2, marking the series' debut on Nintendo's new hardware. There's even a demo up on the eShop so players can try it before diving in. One catch, though. The physical release isn't a cartridge but a game key card. And yeah, fans are already rolling their eyes at that choice. content-wise, this is the full remake that launched last year on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, now tuned for handheld play. It packs in all the reload upgrades, like the new 3G system that unleashes powerful moves when specific conditions are met, the shift mechanic that lets you pass turns to chain combos, and a revamped Tartarus with dashes, breakable objects, locked chests, and even character events scattered across its floors. For endgame content, the episode Aegis the Answer is here too, but it comes as paid DLC on Switch 2, which some players might side-eye. And no, the female protagonist route isn't included, a decision that's been sparking debates since day one.
And yet, is your mission worth your life?
I just talk a big game, pretending like I'm some kind of hero. That's about all.
Also on October 23rd, we have Dreamed Away, an indie RPG that doesn't try to hide its weirdness. You play as Theo, a kid in 90s France who wakes up in the middle of a storm only to realize his parents are gone and his sister Louise has vanished. That kicks off a nightmarish trip through villages, forests, and catacombs that feel both familiar and totally distorted, like a dream that's gone wrong. The structure is top-down exploration, with a story that actually respects your time, because there is no random battles slowing you down. Instead, combat is a mix of bullet hell dodging and timing-based minigames, where every enemy encounter plays out like a twisted puzzle. You'll unlock skills, swap gear, and figure out strategies, but it's your reflexes and choices that really matter. And speaking of choices, the game promises multiple endings shaped by the way you interact with the world. What makes this even more impressive is that it's the work of a solo developer, Nicholas Pettin, built entirely in Godot. There's already a demo floating around that gives about an hour of playtime, and feedback points to a game that feels tight, emotional, and unpredictable. It's launching on PC, Xbox, and both Switch generations with full support for multiple languages. To round out October 23rd, we've got The Lonesome Guild, a party-based action RPG from Tiny Bull Studios and published by Don't Nod, hitting PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. You play as Ghost, a literal spirit wandering a world choked by loneliness, teaming up with a group of oddball companions, from a fox with attitude to a rabbit inventor who looks like he skipped out on a steampunk expo. The hook here isn't just swinging swords or dodging boss attacks, it's how your relationships shape the game. Each of the 6 heroes comes with their own skill tree, but certain upgrades only unlock if you've built enough trust around the campfire. So those late-night chats aren't just flavor text. They're currency for stronger combos and new powers. And speaking of combos, Ghost can actually possess allies mid-battle, letting you jump between characters instantly to chain attacks. Exploration mixes puzzles with combat arenas, asking you to split the group, push blocks, and trigger switches. Combat itself runs in real time with dodges, charged strikes, and flashy specials, plus 3 difficulty modes if you're here for story or punishment. Steam Deck previews say it holds up surprisingly well, making this one feel built for short bursts as much as long sessions.
Whatever the Inquest are searching.
On October 28th, we've got Guild Wars 2 Visions of Eternity, the MMO's 6th expansion dropping on PC, and it's aiming big. The adventure kicks off in Castora, a mysterious tropical island buzzing with unstable magic and fresh Inquest trouble. At launch, you're looking at 2 massive open-world maps, with 2 more rolled out over the year. And yes, the expansion comes with a full year of updates already mapped, with new story beats, big instanced content, and even raids and strikes being fused into one unified system with legendary mode encounters on the horizon. The headline feature is easily the 9 new elite specializations, one for every profession. You've got mesmers ditching shatters for musical illusions as troubadours, rangers building arrows out of cyclone energy with gale shot, necros channeling spirits as ritualists, thieves tagging and scrit thieves to pilfer loot as antiquaries, and that's just scratching the surface. Warriors finally embrace their paragon roots with golden wings and battle chants, while elementalists summon spirit companions as evokers. And mount lovers aren't left behind either. The skimmer evolves into a wavehawk, packing water jets, sonar treasure scans, and underwater leyline surfing. And if you're into personal spaces, the expansion ties into homesteads, letting you design, save, and swap housing layouts on the fly. Add in legendary gear, fashion templates, and a roadmap stacked with rewards. And this expansion isn't just a content pack, it's basically a long-term lifestyle update for Tyria.
Can be a valuable skill. Will you rock out to confuse your opponent?
Also on October 28th, we've got a real nostalgia bomb hitting the PS4. The Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth Trilogy. That's right, Rebirth 1, 2, and 3 are finally making their way from Vita and PC to Sony's console, all in one swoop. This version carries over the additions from the Japanese Plus version, which means party members that follow you in the field, Coliseum missions that lock you to specific characters and drop exclusive weapons, and a museum option to replay cutscenes. On top of that, a bunch of the old DLC dungeons and items come pre-installed, with the option to toggle them on or off. Not everything made the cut, but it's still a pretty generous package compared to the Vita days. Gameplay-wise, each entry evolves the system. The first has 3 characters in battle with tactical movement and a customization system called Plans. The sequel ups to 4 active members, adds the quirky Stella's Dungeon side game, and throws in disc customization to tweak builds. By Rebirth 3, you're juggling custom combo strings up to 5 hits, an expanded Stella's Dungeon with allies, and deeper crafting options. Story fans get the full arc. Neptune's amnesia in Rebirth 1, Nepgear stepping up in Rebirth 2, and the wild Ultra Dimension antics of Rebirth 3.
Here's a special magic I learned from older sisters. Freeze over.
Next, on October 29th, we've got The Outer Worlds 2, landing on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC straight into Game Pass Day 1. And if you grab the Premium Edition, you get in 5 days early. This time, the adventure moves to the Arcadia system, where 3 factions fight for control, and your decisions shape not just alliances, but even what's broadcast on the game's radio stations, each one pushing propaganda based on your actions. World design is a big step up. Zones are larger with way more verticality, plus double jump, sliding, and parkour to explore every hidden corner. Combat feels sharper too, now with the option to switch between first and third person, faction-themed weapons, and of course the return of those bizarre science weapons. The RPG layer is deeper, ditching old attributes for traits, stacking 90+ perks, and throwing in some wild flaws, and one even punishes you if you rush through dialogue. 6 companions join the ride, each with their own perspectives, but no romance options this time.
Oh, the unspeakable things
Dragon Quest 1.
Now on October 30th, we've got Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake, bringing the first 2 chapters of the Erdrick saga together in one package. Right from the start, you can pick which story to dive into, and everything comes wrapped in Square's HD 2D style. That mixed retro pixel art layered over modern 3D environments. That's already become the signature of Team Asano. The remake comes with a redesigned interface, auto battle options, and adjustable battle speed, perfect for blasting through endless slime encounters. Dragon Quest II even goes further with a big surprise. The Princess of Kanak is now fully playable, something completely new for the series. On top of that, the remake adds fresh mechanics like sigils, scrolls, mini-medals, and a brand new area called the Ocean Floor, filled with unique enemies, secrets, and extra story content. Even side activities got love, with the Tombola minigame making an appearance. There are platform quirks worth noting. On Switch 2, the physical release comes as a game key card instead of a cartridge, and there's no upgrade path or cross-save if you start on the original Switch. Each version stands alone. Meanwhile, on PC, the game launches with achievements, cloud saves, and full language support across 10 options.
Being the hero. Traditional but modernized turn-based battles give you an array of options at your fingertips.
And to wrap up our list, on October 31st, we're getting the return of one of the PS3's most requested JRPGs, Tales of Xillia Remastered. And this time, no excuses, it's coming to PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC, marking the series' first official debut on PC. The game still stands out with its dual protagonists, Jude and Milla, each offering their own take on the story. Combat runs on the signature dual-raid linear motion battle system, delivering fast-paced, real-time action where up to 4 players can jump in locally. But what makes this remaster shine is the avalanche of quality-of-life upgrades. We're talking autosave, the ability to retry even normal encounters, and a toggle to switch random battles on or off. Movement is faster with a dash option. The map now shows treasure chests and gathering points, and both cutscenes and skits can be skipped or auto-skipped. Even the fan-favorite grade shop is unlocked from the very first run, starting you off with a solid 5,000 grade. On the technical side, performance got a serious boost. 4K at 60 frames per second on PS5 and Series X, up to 120 frames per second on PC, while the Switch version aims for full HD docked at 30 frames per second. To top it off, over 40 DLC packs from the original release are bundled in, from costumes to useful item sets, though a few licensed extras didn't make the cut.
Demonic chaos!
And what is justice to you?
And before you go, don't forget to smash the hype button, leave a comment, and hit sub so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the comments section.